Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Laid Back Camp Season 2, Episode 6. Feeling a little bit nervous about being the halfway mark of the series, but I love that we're getting into some more of the camping shenanigans with some of our main cast. We've got 3 at least that are off doing their own thing and enjoying the journey with all of its hiccups. But we made it to the campsite, so it's all fine. In 3, 2, 1, go. Look at the sparkle on the water. Are we gonna figure out our tarp situation with the actual poles this time? And not just because we don't have the Deshko, so nice. Even though we couldn't set up where we wanted to. Could make it feel like we were in the middle of the lake. I had this morning. I was outside my backyard and it's like delightfully quiet. It's like early morning in the winter. Everyone's still inside, tucked in bed, and I was like, just enjoying the sunshine. I was having my own laid back camp moment. We don't have any snow anymore, though. At least at this moment. I'm hopeful. But I know at some point we'll just like end up buried in it. But not yet. We'll see how the cooking situation turns out with our hot pot. Also the hammock. They didn't show us how the like frames of the chairs work together yet. To make the hammock, they had to leave me on a cliffhanger for that. The closest we get to a cliffhanger in this series anyway. Also, when we do get to the end of the season, is the younger sibling going to be there? Because she's in the opening. Are we adopting the little one into our camping group? That was always the hardest. Somehow like the canvas didn't stretch properly. Or is it just me struggling to be coordinated? Yeah. Getting everything organized so that it works is not my strong suit. Oh, is that how we got a hammock? With just the 2 chairs? Careful you don't lean back too much. I'm worried about the fact that we're like leaning back on it. Where'd the blanket come from? They were just using her as like prep space. I was gonna say, we didn't bring our puppy. Whose puppy are you? And can we be friends? I like that one, the puppy's name is Toko, and that he has a little coat. I was gonna say, different part of the food pyramid. Why do I feel like we're going to meet this person again? Possibly because of their like teacher that is supposed to be like supervising them. I was gonna say who would be able to buy like alcohol in this group? I'm like they're all high schoolers. Oh, the fact that that was a drone and like my brain just assumed it was an actual airplane because I have the heart of a millennial, I guess. There's like obviously it's a plane. Except one of your friends. You do technically have three chairs. I like how it wasn't even just like, yeah, it's fine. It's like I feel terrible. I love how ready those two are to just like just to like praise Aki like the whole time. Cuties. Oh no. The cold probably doesn't help. What'd I just say? The cold does not help using your technology. Oh, they're so cute. Been there. It's me like every day when I come from inside to outside, outside to inside. My glasses are just fogged the whole time. Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess Aki knows something about alcohol and that she works at like a liquor store. I still don't know all the logistics of that for like legal reasons, but you could do that in Canada anyway. Though I guess we have a younger drinking age. It is really cool that there's like a whole piece of land like in the middle of the water though that you can like sit on at least. Like it would be cool to kind of camp there, but to make you feel like you're in the middle of the lake or whatever. And looking a little rough, needs a little polish. Your bike's looking like it might need a little polish too. Getting our photos. Oh no, is there gonna be weather? And they're gonna try and warn them, but they won't know they turned off their phones? Evasive action. It's only -2 and y'all are complaining about it being cold? Weather check right now for Canada. Is how cold? We won't know. It is currently -8 where I am right now, and it's sunny and lovely, and it's not even that cold. Barely bundled up when I was outside. I didn't even have socks on. I was wearing like slippers. Which I think might be the most Canadian thing I've ever done. Yeah, just keep warm. Campfire, layers. Keep your core warm. Huddle for warmth. Yeah, I was gonna say insulate the bottom from like the ground. The ground is where a bunch of the cold's gonna come from too. I love we're like in full like poncho mode. It does get cold really fast though, once the sun goes down. Yeah, this stresses me out. As someone whose like lungs aren't great at being lungs, running in the cold weather already makes me like need to take a deep breath. Poor darlings. This is like the most plot we've ever gotten. Oh, if we don't have firewood. Y'all didn't plan for this very well. Y'all didn't bring a hatchet or something? We're gonna have our friend with the dog. I was gonna say, they got the whole, like, contraption to have a fire inside the tent. It's a little advanced for any of the camping I did, but it's not quite optimistic. So you were one of the group that we had there? No, we were running around trying to get firewood. Again, like you couldn't cook if you don't have it. Y'all gotta start with firewood. That was one of the first things we did. Whenever we showed up to campground, we were like checking in. We got firewood right then. Can't leave it until later. Aww. She came back victorious and everything. I love the detail of her glasses fogging up. Just as someone who has to deal with that struggle, I like having some representation. Yeah, like you all have the supplies for hot pot for both groups, right? Ugh, ramen's always good. Yeah, I was gonna say, as teacher, are we worried because it's cold? That's so sweet. It's probably because they couldn't get it. They couldn't get a hold of them, right? Because they couldn't. They turned their phones off, or like their battery died. So I'm sure that they were worried that they were gonna get cold. Oh, that's so sweet. On a mission. Ooh, you need to sneak up on her. The calm, like, what are you doing? I was gonna say, were we gonna come back to the sake group in relation to teacher? Aww, I love that it was like, and then being like, I was trying to look out for them and I couldn't get a hold of them. Help. I get a lecture. Yes, the safety. I was gonna say, we didn't seem very prepared for going winter camping. Yeah, y'all are lucky that someone was around who was better prepared. Oh, yeah, y'all, that's her whole job is just be supervising. It's cute. I like how they're all looking out for each other. Of course she does. The smash cut. I was gonna say, hopefully you tell Arin that everything is okay, or she's gonna continue to be worried. But of course, it's laid back camp, so like the most plot we get is that everything turned out completely fine. It was stressful for like a second. Ugh. Sorry, just like making food make me hungry. Every single episode. Only downside of this series is I'm always hungry at some point. Are we going home instead of staying the night, I'm assuming? You can't drive. She was drinking. Gonna sleep in the car? Yeah, I was gonna say sleep in the car with the heat on. I love the full poncho going on. I found mine the other day. I'm so happy. Between that and my onesie, I'm gonna be cozy. There's just something about a sunrise in the winter when it's so quiet, especially when it snows and it like dampens all of the sound. So I'm very peaceful about it. Oh, look how beautiful the artwork on the water is, though. I'll never stop gushing about how beautiful the scenery is in this series. Also, the lighting team. Whoever works in the lighting for the series, great job. That too. Still cold. Cute. I like that we get little different openers sometimes. Photos of their journey. Look, I can't decide if I'm going to sit through the ender or not. Serious. Part of me is like, yes. Part of me is like, no. I know there's just the little cute little uh moments at the end, like the extras, but I want to see all the photos. It's a cute little way of doing the art, though, of it being like photos that they're sending back to like an inn. We didn't see any Nadeshko in this one. Now we got like a whole episode, basically. A couple of episodes that were really around her, but aww, friendship. Like the bring me gifts, pay it forward. Aww. I love their friendship so much. It's so cute. See what I say? I was like, your scooter needs a little elbow grease. There she is. She gets leftovers. Dream job for her. We got little hints that might happen because of the like finding like appreciating loneliness. But be prepared. We've learned in this episode that you gotta be properly prepared before you go camping. Loved it so much. And just in general because of the series, but I also love that it pulled on some of the stuff we got in the last episode where, like I was saying, they did make mistakes. There were things that they didn't know about, that didn't have a fully realized plan of what they were going to be doing for this trip. They had a idea of a plan and then we're rushing into things a little bit, and I like that we foreshadowed some of that in the previous episode of figuring out the bus situation, and they just had to rush forward and get on the bus without a fully thought out plan, or they weren't able to set up the camp where they wanted to. There were all these little moments of them not quite knowing exactly what they were doing, and that all coming into this episode of it becoming an actual thing of they weren't prepared enough. Like when going camping in the winter, I've already said like it's a whole whole ordeal, especially where I am in the world. If -15 is going to be a danger for them, in Canada we get even worse situations, so it's definitely something that you have to be very prepared for and have the right equipment for. So I appreciate even though it's a little bit more plot than I'm used to in this series, but I appreciate a moment of showing that even though they have some experience when it comes to camping, they don't have a ton, right? So them having to learn a little bit of that, and it's fine to learn from trial and error when it's under better conditions, but when you get into below 0 temperatures where it can actually be a dangerous situation, you have to be prepared for it. And some of the time that's just like letting people know where you are, right? If Rin hadn't known where they were, how would she have gotten help for them? And the fact that they were like, oh, we could have just told someone, right? Told like their teacher who's supposed to be supervising them, then we wouldn't have gone into this issue, right? Like we would have chosen a different place to camp, or we would have had better equipment. Even just like, telling that to Arin, right? Like Nadeshiko calling her up and being like, hey, I want to try this. I'm assuming it's to be like, hey, tell me like what I need to know, because Arin would have been able to say, oh, like you should make sure that you have like the hand warmers with you, and that you need proper like insulated equipment, or make sure you buy firewood right away. There could have been more things that they knew about before going that they would have been better prepared for it. So I appreciate that this episode was set up with some foreshadowing that was like fun hijinks and like humor, but it did all come full circle if you do actually need to be prepared. And of course with this series everything worked out fine, but only because there were people like looking out for them, and it's important to do research and make sure that you know how to do it safely and everything. I think it's a good way of getting a message of, hey, we're making this look really fun to go like winter camping and everything, but do it safely. Even the little like safety messages that they have throughout the series is like, hey, make sure that you're doing this properly and that you're doing like research and stuff, and you're not just rushing into things, because it is more extreme temperatures and you don't have all of the same amenities that you would at home and all of that. So you have to make sure that you have the right things with you, right? Having chairs is fun and it's a nice way to lounge around, but like maybe getting some firewood would have been better, right? Like maybe having some other equipment that is for making sure that you're doing it safely would have been a better decision. So I like that we're mixing the humor in with getting to see their journey of figuring things out and how they still have a lot to learn when it comes to camping in the winter and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a laid back camp reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.